The moment the flames swallowed the top floor of the Grant Corporation tower, everyone ran out, everyone except the single dad who ran in. And when he burst back through the smoke carrying the unconscious CEO in his arms, no one expected her very first words to shatter him, or change both their lives forever. The alarms were already screaming when Ethan Hale reached the lobby, gripping his daughter Lily's small hand. Tonight wasn't supposed to be chaos. It was supposed to be simple, his night shift as a maintenance worker, then taking Lily home for late-night noodles. Instead, the power had blown, smoke was crawling down from the upper floors, and panic filled the grand entrance of the skyscraper. "Daddy, someone's still up there," Lily whispered, staring at the glowing elevator indicators. Ethan followed her gaze. The top floor. The CEO's office, Aria Grant. Everyone in the building knew her, cold, brilliant, untouchable. A woman whose life was polished perfection, built on discipline and sky-high expectations. She wasn't the type to stay late for no reason, which meant something was wrong. He turned to the security guard. "Is she still upstairs?" The man swallowed. "We tried calling her. No answer." The fire department was still 10 minutes away. The smoke was getting worse. The sprinklers weren't activating, meaning the power loss was deeper than expected. Ethan knelt in front of Lily. "Stay with Mr. Daniels. Don't move," he said gently but firmly. Lily's eyes widened with fear. "But Daddy," he smoothed her hair with a trembling hand. "I'll be back. I promise." Then he ran into the fire while everyone else streamed out. The stairwell was a furnace. Heat clotted his lungs, smoke coated his throat, and each step felt like pushing through boiling air. But Ethan had been through worse. The world didn't know, and he never advertised it, but years ago he'd worked search and rescue before life broke apart after his wife's death. His skills never left him, he just buried them under janitor overalls and quiet routines. By the time he reached the top floor, flames had eaten their way down the hallway. The CEO's glass office door had shattered, shards glittering on the floor like fallen stars. Aria lay collapsed beside her desk. Ethan didn't hesitate. He lifted her into his arms. Her skin was burning hot, breath shallow. "I've got you," he whispered, though she didn't respond. The way down was worse. Smoke thickened, fire cracked walls, and beams groaned overhead. Twice the floor trembled beneath him. But with every step, he pictured Lily waiting below, her faith, her tiny voice saying someone was still up there, and he kept going, bursting through the lobby doors, carrying the CEO like she weighed nothing. He dropped to his knees as the cool night air wrapped around them. Paramedics rushed forward, but before they could lift her, Aria stirred, her eyes fluttered open, sharp, confused, drawn with pain. Everyone leaned in to hear the brilliant CEO's first words. Instead of thanking him, she stared into Ethan's soot-smudged face and whispered, "You came back for me?" It wasn't the words that froze him, it was the way she said them, like she wasn't talking about the fire at all, like she meant years ago. But before he could speak, she slipped into unconsciousness again. The paramedics took her away, leaving Ethan shaken and breathless, not from the smoke, but from the look in her eyes. The past he thought he'd buried was about to return, and this time it wasn't coming quietly. The hospital smelled of antiseptic and quiet hope. Ethan sat in the waiting room, Lily sleeping curled against his side. He didn't know why he'd followed the ambulance. Maybe it was shock, maybe instinct, or maybe it was that haunting question Aria had whispered, "You came back for me." He'd never met the CEO personally. He'd seen her from a distance, sharp suits, colder eyes, the kind of woman who built empires. She could not possibly know him, but she did. A nurse approached. "Mr. Hale? Ms. Grant is awake. She asked for you." He stiffened. "For me?" "Yes. Only you." He followed her down the quiet hallway, heart pounding. When he entered Aria's room, she was sitting upright, one arm bandaged, oxygen tube resting lightly beneath her nose. Even injured, she carried an air of authority, but her eyes softened the moment they landed on him. "You really did come back," she murmured, emotion trembling in her tone. Ethan swallowed. "Ms. Grant, with respect, what do you mean by back?" "Tonight was the first." "No," she shook her head. "This isn't the first time you've saved me." He stared at her, completely thrown. Aria exhaled shakily. 10 years ago, a flood in the East District. I was trapped in a collapsed house. A young rescue worker carried me out. I never saw him again. I searched for him for months." Her voice cracked. "It was you, wasn't it?" Ethan froze. He hadn't remembered her face in all the chaos back then. He saved dozens of people. But now, looking into her eyes, he did remember. A terrified woman in a soaked blazer clinging to him as he fought through rising water. A quiet promise he'd whispered, "You're safe. I won't leave you." He nodded slowly. "I didn't think you'd remember." Arya's eyes glistened. "I remembered everything. But when I tried to find you, they told me you had resigned and disappeared." His jaw tightened. "My wife died. I had a newborn. I had to rebuild in my own way." Silence settled between them, soft, understanding, painfully human. Arya looked at Lily sleeping in the hallway through the glass window. "She's your daughter?" "Yes. My whole world." Arya's voice softened further. "You risked your life tonight. Again. For me." She swallowed. "Why?" Ethan hesitated, then spoke with quiet honesty. "Because I've never been able to walk away from someone who needs help. And because, 10 years ago, you were the first person who looked at me like I mattered. Like I wasn't just a rescuer. You thanked me for saving your life. No one else ever did." Arya blinked hard, emotion breaking her usually unshakable composure. Then she said the words that would change everything. "Ethan, I don't want to lose you again." His breath caught. He had expected many things from the untouchable CEO: gratitude, confusion, maybe even distance. But not this. Not genuine vulnerability. "Ms. Grant." "Arya," she corrected gently. "Please." He exhaled. "Arya. I'm just a single dad trying to get through each day. You're a CEO. Our worlds don't mix." She stared at him with a small, broken yet hopeful smile. "Maybe they don't," she admitted. "But tonight proved they can." Lily stirred in the hallway, pressing her face against the glass. Arya watched her, then whispered, Can I thank her? For sharing her father tonight?" Ethan felt something shift inside him, a warmth he hadn't felt in years. That he nodded, stepping aside as Arya extended her hand toward his daughter with a tenderness he never expected from the woman known for being made of steel. And in that moment, Ethan realized something. Some people you save only once, but some, fate keeps bringing back until you finally understand why.